everybody, I am Jared Clark with Air Guns of Arizona, and today we're doing a really exciting video. We're going to be taking a look at the Daystate Alpha Wolf. This is the newest member to the Wolf family, and it has so many cool features that we're going to try and cram them into a very compressed time for you so we don't lose you at the end. But this gun has so much to offer. It has electronic firing system, it has a HUMA regulator, it has a built-in chronograph that can both read out velocities as well as help the computer manipulate velocities to a desired velocity. It also can change calibers simply by changing the barrel and the bolt probe, and it has so many features that you really can't grab them all at once. Not to mention, it is absolutely stunning, incorporating this laminate stock into a very tactical frame. So we're gonna do an in-depth review of the Daystate Alpha Wolf here. I hope you stick around. We're gonna show you everything that comes right out of the box. We're gonna shoot it. We're gonna try and cover everything for you and answer any questions you may have about this awesome gun from Daystate. Hope you stick around. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do with this new rifle is unbox it, show it to you exactly as it would arrive to you, and then kind of give it a once over of all the specs it has here before we take it and start shooting it. So we'll get to the unboxing here right now. First thing you notice is this gun does come in a nice Daystate locking hard case. So it'll keep it nice and safe for you, and it does have room for a scope in here as well. So there it is, very nice presentation. Beautiful red laminate stocks like we've talked about on this gun. That is the Alpha Wolf right there. Red laminate is absolutely stunning. It comes in at about 33 inches in overall length, and it weighs about 8.4 pounds without a scope. So a very stout package, but a very powerful package, as we're gonna find out on the range. And then you do get a few accessories with it. The first being the 11-shot magazine in .22 caliber, since this is the one we're looking at today. You have the battery charger here. This is the USB-C style. So if you just want to plug the gun directly into the USB-C port, it is right here into the stock, and you can charge the gun that way. And then you do have your wall adapter here. This little bag will have an extra dowty seal as well as an extra breech seal for you. You have a couple small tools to make any kind of trigger adjustments. These are kind of specialty wrenches, so it does come included. And then you have an extended quick connect here. Makes it easy to grab and get it in and out of the gun. That's the last piece of hardware you get with the gun. Everything else is going to be the paperwork. So a factory test sheet, a quality control, a warranty registration card, and then the owner's manual, which is a great resource for anything you need to know about the gun. Okay, so what we're gonna do now that we've showed you exactly how it would come out of the hard case here, we're gonna throw a scope on it, highlight the features, and then we'll get to shooting it. Okay, so here it is all decked out in front of me, and it just kind of speaks for itself as to why it is such a cool gun. You have this nice laminate stock with finger grooves, and every single inch of space is kind of occupied really nicely with this stock. So if you're brand new to the Daystate series or air guns in general, I'll start at the ground level and we'll work up. So this in front of me is the culmination of 40 years for Daystate. It has a computer built into it, the firing control unit, that it uses an electronic solenoid to hit the valve, which releases an exact metered amount of air through the HUMA regulator. So by factory, it's HUMA regulated. Daystate and Brocock are the only two manufacturers that have the ability to put HUMA regs right out of the factory into their guns. So you have the best regulator working with the most advanced firing control unit to help deliver you extremely metered precision shots. And it does it extremely efficiently through the electronics, and it does it extremely repeatably using the HUMA reg. So this gun does the best of everything and has the ability to change calibers simply by changing the barrel and the bolt probe. And it has a built-in chronograph in here that will read out to you how fast each projectile is going. And you have the ability to then manipulate the projectile's speed using the chronograph and the firing control unit. So this is a futuristic gun. For all intents and purposes, this is about the coolest projectile shooter I have ever seen. The Daystate Alpha Wolf is available in 4 different calibers and 2 different barrel lengths. So you have calibers available are 177, 22, 25, and 30. And then with inside of those, you have a 17-inch barrel option and then also a 24-inch barrel option. So this one in front of me is the 24-inch barrel option. Even though it's relatively compact gun at 33 inches, this does have a 24-inch barrel. They offer the 17-inch barrel configuration. I have one of those put together right here for you. So you can see the barrel ends almost right where the 480cc bottle ends. So as you can see, the long 24-inch barrel in the back here versus the shorter 17.6, I think is the exact number, but 17-inch barrel here on the shorter gun. Very compact. This one's gonna pack a lot of power, but this one's gonna give you a much more compact setup. So this Alpha Wolf in front of me is the 22 caliber is what we're going to be looking at today. So it does come with this 11-shot magazine in 22 caliber. If you're set up in 177, you'll have a 13-shot magazine. If it's 25, you'll have a 10-shot magazine. And then if it's 30 caliber, you'll have an 8-shot magazine. But another cool feature of the Alpha Wolf, the magazines right here have magnets on the bottom of them. So if you move your cheek piece out of the way so it clears, you can actually hook two magazines together, just simply right here in the breech. And you can hook them here if the cheek piece is out of the way, and you can double your shot count effectively. So when you're out, you just slide one magazine out and your next one is already attached magnetically. In theory, you could have another one that's preloaded and just do the same thing and push them back and forth. It's a cool feature to help double the capacity of your magazine depending on which caliber you have. So there's the foundation. We'll build from there. So starting at the back, you have a nice butt pad here. This also doubles as a cover for your battery. So if you hit this release on the bottom, slide it down, you will see the 4-cell lithium-ion battery back here. If you want to charge it quickly, that can be removed from the back, plugged directly into a charger, or you can charge it directly right here using the USB-C. So you have two options for charging, and the buttstock keeps everything nice and secure. I'm going to flip the gun over here. So this is a touch screen, and this is your interface to manipulating the gun. You use a command series. We'll go ahead and put the gun in safe, open the bolt, and you can press the trigger for 4 seconds, and the lock should go away. So now the lock's gone away. You have some options here. You have factory shot setting, you have advanced shot settings, you have magazine shot count, you have night mode on off, you have backlight settings, you have auto power off time, you have chronograph on off, you have rotate screen for the left-handed shooter. And that is the last one. So those are the options you have on the touch screen. And if you want to know how those work in much more detail, check out the video we did for the Delta Wolf programming. We'll put the link in the description below. So if you have questions or want a much more thorough review of how all that works, check out that video. It goes into great depth and we explain every single setting for you. It is kind of the heart and soul of the gun right here. So if you're a right-handed shooter, it's right there. It's an easy reference. You just kind of pull your head off and look at it. If you are left-handed, the gun is completely ambidextrous. You can switch the bolt, you can switch everything. You can't switch the side that the screen is on, but you do have a feature in here that will allow it to invert. So if you're shooting from the left side and you want to check it, you flip it over like this once you have the left-handed inversion on, and the screen will recognize it and it'll flip it upside for you. So it's a cool feature that the Alpha Wolf has. They're really thinking about left-handed shooters and making the gun friendly to both sides. Right underneath it here, you do have a Picatinny style accessory rail. So right off the top of my head, sling studs would be great. A little quick connect sling stud would work well back here. You could go with the small monopod. You could go with the small bipod. You just have a lot of options here for using rear accessories that would run on Picatinny style attachments. This is your cheek piece. This is fully adjustable. It runs right down this 11mm rail that runs the length of the action here. So you can fully adjust the cheek piece wherever you want, as well as the reach forward scope mount here. This is also has 4 clamping screws right here, but it can be moved forward, it can be brought back. It's very accommodating to eye relief. So if you have a short eye relief scope, you can bring it all the way back to your eyeball. If you have a normal one, you can kind of have it sitting where we do here. If you have an extra long eye relief, you can push this thing all the way forward here. So it gives you a lot of adjustability. The 11-meter rail runs the whole length of the action. So that makes it very customizable, shooter friendly to different ages with different lengths of pull. Lots of benefits to having this amount of adjustability for these 2 items that ride along the top of your gun. At the base of your scope rail, you have a built-in bubble level. This is a really nice feature because you can see it out of the peripherals of your eyes while you shoot, and it's a good anchor point to make sure your gun's always nice and level. You don't have any cant, and that really comes into play when you start shooting longer distance with pellets or slugs. So good feature built in right there. Don't have to add anything to make sure your gun's level. So you do have the side lever here that operates the magazine, sets the gun. There is no hammer spring tension behind this being an electronic gun, so it pulls back smoothly. Pull the mag out since I don't have anything in there. But this is effortless. There's no spring to be set. There's nothing there other than just glass smooth open and closing. So it's very futuristic in that. And then also when it comes time to pull the trigger, the electronics being utilized in the trigger make it unlike anything you've ever done before. It is very crisp. It is almost like a mouse click, and it makes it very easy to be precise and shoot from a bench or shoot in any scenario. The trigger makes it very accommodating. It does have some adjustability to it. You can refer to your owner's manual, but all of those points and adjustment screws come with the gun. This gun doesn't need anything out of the box. It is very lightweight and it's very nice. So trigger's a huge plus on the electronic guns. It's one thing Daystate has that no other manufacturer has. You have a hardstyle safety right here, manual safety. When it's pointing flat, it isn't safe. When you're pointing at fire, it is now ready to fire. This is also how you wake the gun up. If it times out and your backlight falls asleep, you cycle the safety on off. That will wake the gun up. That's also how you get into programming mode. You put it in safe. So there's a lot that does with your safety switch here. And it's very easy to use. Even when you're using the gun, it's kind of right there where your thumb is. It's very manageable, and it's on both sides again. So if you're a left-handed shooter, there is a paddle on both sides that you can work. It makes it completely ambidextrous. The gauge right here, this is telling you how much bottle pressure you have. Back here on the screen, this number in the top left corner, I think it's right at 157 on this. This is your regulator pressure. So the hard gauge tells you bottle pressure that's available. The electronic reading up here, that is a very precise reg reading. So those are the two pressure point readings. The reg is fully adjustable. It's kind of hidden away on this. It's hard to see, but right here in between the bottle and the stock, there is a big knob that is used to manipulate the regulator up or down. So power will be affected by this. Your efficiency can be affected by this, but with the ability to change calibers and make this anything you want comes the full adjustability of the reg, the fine tuners we'll talk about using the computer. But the hard adjustment here, regulator pressure is adjustable externally, very simply done. The Alpha Wolf utilizes a 480cc carbon fiber bottle here. It does great for shot count as well as matching the carbon fiber look on the gun. So it gives you a lot of shots, keeps the gun as light as possible, and really ties together the tactical carbon fiber look. On the bottom side of the stock, this is a Picatinny rail that's already pre-installed with this laminate stock, so you don't have to worry about putting a drill to your beautiful stock here. It already comes with that setup. I have attached the AccuTac bipod here just to show you how simply and easy it is to get this thing set up and ready to go. So Picatinny rail underneath on the front and on the back. That's a cool, unique feature that really ties together the whole tactical feel of this rifle. Gives you lots of points to put accessories, and then you have two on the side here as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4 Picatinny rails on the gun for accessories, one up top for the scope. It's ready to rock and roll with whatever you can throw at it. This gun looks good. It doesn't look crowded, but it gives you all the tactical features you could want. We're looking at the shroud right here. It's made out of carbon fiber. It's really clean. It ties in well with the gun and the tactical look. And then this right here, you can't see it, but this is where your chronograph is. The chronograph threads directly into the barrel, and then it reads the pellet on its way out, or slug, whatever projectile you're shooting. It captures 2 points. The computer does everything else, and it just reads out really nicely on the side and tells you your FPS. In the shroud here, we talked about the chronograph being right here. Even though it does have the chronograph, you do still have a threaded shroud here. This is 1/2 inch UNF by 20, so any kind of 0 dBs work great with these, but the 0 dBs, any accessory that you could want in an air gun will thread right on there. Helps keep it quiet, does not interfere with the chronograph functionality at all. So no worries there if you need to shoot quietly and still use the chronograph. You have the threads and the gun can do it no problem. You would never know it had a chronograph unless I told you that. And so that's what makes it even cooler. It's blended in well. It tells you how fast you're going and then gives you the ability to manipulate that speed just by touching the touch screen up, down. It's awesome. And then the computer talks to the chronograph and makes small adjustments to how hard the solenoid hits. I nerd out whenever I talk about this gun. It is so cool and futuristic, and there's nothing like it on the market. So Daystate has done something. They're pushing the envelope, and they're doing it in a package that looks so clean without being cluttered. For all the features it does, you would never know it unless you really started looking at it closely. So Daystate has done an absolute great job with the Alpha Wolf. I think personally, it's one of their best looks they've ever had. Big fan of the whole Wolf series. They have the Red Wolf, the Delta Wolf, and now the Alpha Wolf. The Alpha Wolf is their newest offering and brings all of the electronic advancements as well as the visual advancements, but it's not a better gun necessarily. They're all great guns. The Wolf line of guns is more about deciding which features you, the shooter, find most valuable, and then incorporating them into how you would shoot and what disciplines you would use and how you would use the gun. So don't be intimidated by the Delta and the Alpha look the same, and then what's the Red Wolf. They're all amazing guns, and you can't go wrong with any of them. And this is the newest member of that family, the Alpha Wolf. The Daystate Alpha Wolf does come with a 5-year warranty to the original owner. Warranties can be transferred through an inspection process done here at the Warranty Center, so you have the ability to maintain that 5 years even if you do end up selling it or giving it to someone. We can transfer warranties on this gun, but you do have 5 years to the original owner right out of the box. That's all the features that this gun has. There's a lot to take in a short amount of time, but hopefully we covered everything for you that you could have a question about. But now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put some air in it. We're gonna go to 20 yards. We're gonna shoot shot count. We're gonna see what kind of accuracy at 20 yards we have. After that, we'll go to 50 and try and hold the group together there. Meet you back here, put a bow on this one. Hopefully you'll enjoy it. Stick around. So we have the Alpha Wolf here at the 20-yard range. What we're planning on doing is calculating the number of shots we get per fill in the 22 high power here, doing a rough magazine test probably at 20 yards, and then just getting some numbers and feeling how the gun feels at 20 yards. So this is our initial test shooting it. What I am gonna show you here right now is we have the gun. It says active set 2226. So I'm in the advanced shot setting mode right now. You have the two options, factory, which is where you dictate velocity, and then you have active set. And what that does is I have 3 parameters here: hammer, voltage, and pressure set. So my hammer is the dwell time that the hammer is gonna hold the valve open in nanoseconds, I believe that is. The voltage is the amount of power it hits with, and then the press set, that's your regulator pressure. So those are the 3 variables you can manipulate, and there is a lot of manipulation to them, but those are the 3 things that I am dictating directly to the computer right now. So I don't want to get too in depth on this. If you want more information about the touchscreen here and the programming of the gun, check out our video on the Delta Wolf programming. It is very in depth and it will cover any question that you could have. So let's go ahead. Gun's already filled to 250. So we're gonna load the magazine and then we're gonna find out how many shots per fill we can get. So we're gonna be putting the 25.39 grain JSB Monster redesigns, and the mag is very simple. It's on this flip open hinge. So everything is very accessible. Pull that down. The first thing is rotate it clockwise until you can't any further, and there is now tension in your magazine. So once it's rotated as far as it can clockwise, you want to put the last pellet in, which is right there. So that now holds everything in place. I remove my hand. I have quick access here to the other 10 holes, and that is as difficult as it is to load the magazine. Once it's full, simply close it. And then that is ready to go into your gun right there. And that can come in from either side. I am running the dual magnets like we talked about here. So both of these, I've doubled the capacity of my mags, and they both come in, one from each side. So we did a 250 bar fill. We're running an average velocity of 949 feet per second with the Monster redesigns. So if you calculate that out, I think that's right at 51 and some change foot-pounds. So 22 cal, it's hitting really hard. 50 foot-pounds is nothing to slouch at. And then the shot count is impressive in my opinion. I got about right at 60 really tight shots, fastest being 960, slowest being 941 inside of 60 shots. So only 20 foot per second spread, standard deviation right around 3 or 4. It makes this a really fun 22 caliber. So it's a lot of energy. Anything you could do in pest elimination, it's got more than enough thump, and moving these 25.39s that fast, I only imagine at 50 and 100 yards, we're gonna see nice, tight accuracy out of a gun like this. So we've refilled the gun, we've got a fresh magazine, and we're gonna do the entire 11-shot magazine at 20 yards and see what kind of group we can hold together. So this should give us a good indicator of accuracy further distances, but it's a good test for 20 yards, getting a good idea for what kind of groups we can expect. Okay, so that's 11 shots out of the magazine, and I have basically just destroyed the 10X ring. So the 10 ring and then the X ring, you can just see a top hair of it, but that's a great indicator. For 20 yards, all going in that same hole, I'm excited for it to shoot it at 50 because that's good repeatability right there. So 20 yards, whole magazine, right in the middle of the target like we would expect. Let's take it out to 50 and see what we can do. So we have the Monster Redesign 25-39s, and we're gonna be shooting at 50 yards to see how good of a group we can hold together. So let's get the magazine in the gun and see what it can do. That's 5 right out of the magazine. Let's get down there closer and take a look at it. That is all basically in one hole. This whole thing with my challenge coin here as reference is gonna get dwarfed by it. I mean, it just completely disappears and eats the entire shot group, but very tight, 50 yards. It can do anything you need in terms of accuracy, as well as 51 foot-pounds makes it very capable hunter. So great accuracy results here at 50. Let's take it back to the showroom and finish this one up. So there is the review, the Daystate Alpha Wolf. It has some of the most futuristic features that a gun has ever seen. We talked about the ability to have a built-in chronograph, to manipulate the velocities with the touch of your finger, the Huma regulator, the barrel interchangeability, the drop-dead gorgeous Manelli stock. Everything about this gun is just really cool. You're bringing traditional wood finger groove laminate stocks together with a tactical action that has electronics and a chronograph built into it. This is the future. We are living in it, and Daystate has hit a home run here. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe to the Air Guns of Arizona YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram. Join our mailing list on our website. However you can stay in touch with us, please do. Hope that you come back for the next one.